Hey guys, it's Becca. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be discussing The Assassin's Blade by Sarah J. Maas. And the crowd goes wild. I know. I feel like everyone has already read this book, and The Kingdom of Ash, the last book in the Throne of Glass series, comes out in less than 2 weeks, and I'm just now reading The Assassin's Blade, which also means that I haven't read Tower of Dawn. Well, you know what? I've read this, so now I can read Tower of Dawn. I don't know why it took me this long to read this book. I thought it was an unnecessary book, but then once Tower of Dawn came out, everybody was like, you can't read Tower of Dawn until you read The Assassin's Blade. Oh dang, maybe I should read The Assassin's Blade. Yeah, I should probably do that. So here I am, and I read it, and I loved it, and honestly, we have so much to talk about, like so much to talk about. Are you ready to get into it? Oh wait. First, if you haven't read this book is pretty much like the prequel novellas mashed into one book of okay, I can't say her name. That's a spoiler. Selena Sardarthian. She is her kingdom's most feared assassin. She's kicked butt, she's sassy, she's beautiful, she loves clothes. She's pretty much just like one of my favorite characters of all time, and this book series is like one of my favorite book series of all time. So if you haven't already, if you haven't read Throne of Glass, I recommend you read this first, and then you'll be up to date. Or you could wait till you read Tower of Dawn and read this before you read Tower of Dawn, which is what I'm doing, and I think a lot of people are doing, because I didn't think this book was going to be necessary. I didn't think it was necessary for me to read it, but I had to read it, okay, because I have to read Tower of Dawn. Okay, because I have to read Kingdom of Ash, which comes out really soon. So you haven't already, go pick up this book, read it, come back, and we shall discuss it together. So the first novella kind of book in all of these books is Pirate Lord. It is so weird seeing Selena so young and eager to prove herself. Once we read Throne of Glass, which is the first book, she's a very different person. So seeing her, how young she is, it's just weird to read. At this point in her life, she's still living with Arobin and all these assassins. When we see Arobin in the next books, their relationship's definitely different. But in this book, their relationship is more like, I don't even know what their relationship was, and I don't even think Selena knew what her relationship was with Arobin. It was kind of like, you're my dad, you're not my friend, but you're not my dad, but you kind of act like my dad, but then I don't know if you like me as like a lover or a brother. They don't even know what their relationship is, and you don't even know what their relationship is, and I honestly still don't know what he thought his relationship was to Selena. And of course we meet the famous Sam. Now we all know, if you read the rest of the Throne of Glass series, we all know Sam. We've heard about Sam, and we definitely meet Sam face to face in, well, words to words, I guess we should say. I love Sam, honestly. Oh god, we will get back to Sam. But at this point in this novella, they are not friends, they're competition. Selena isn't very nice to him, he's kind of not really nice to her. Now in this novella, Rolfe, I don't know how to say his name. Sarah J. Maas is really good about creating names that I can never pronounce. The pirate dude, Rolfe, we're just gonna start calling him that. At first, I was like, oh, this guy's kind of cool. I wasn't making the connection, because we've seen him in other books, but I wasn't making the connection, because I read those books so long ago. So I'm seeing him now, and I'm like, he's pretty cool. I mean, kind of takes Selena's spunk really well. I really backtracked on that by the end of the novella. He definitely did not like Selena at the very end. Selena and Sam have to team up. They think they're just settling something between Arobin and Rolfe. Selena finds out that Arobin is trying to buy slaves so that he can invest in them and make more money off of them. No, we know how Selena feels about the slave trade. This is not gonna go down well, and of course, she takes it down, and oh yes. I just love seeing Selena in her element, and of course we team up with Sam, and oh my gosh, Sam was honestly just a little puppy that was just so cute and just so sweet. I just automatically loved him, but then I didn't want to love him because I knew what was gonna happen. You know, I knew what was gonna happen. So I was like, do not get attached, Becca. Do not get attached to this person. You know what's gonna happen. But I got attached anyways. I love seeing them team up and just kicking butt and saving all these slaves. I especially loved how she was communicating with these slaves. Selena is just very smart. The way she was asking Rolf questions, she was trying to be inconspicuous. She just nailed it. I especially love the way that she presents herself. She wears a cloak, she wears a mask, you know, she's very mysterious, and it's just really cool. Every single time I was imagining her, I just imagined her just a black mass, just walking throughout the streets, scaring people because she's scary. In this book, Selena's very arrogant. She's always been kind of arrogant, but even more so arrogant. I just love seeing the fight scene and how at the very end they make Rolf sign a contract so he can never sell slaves again. Selena just kicks butt, and of course Sam does too. That was just the first novella. We are only getting started. So now we are going to be talking about the assassin and the healer. In this novella, we start off in the point of view of Irene. I know her name is really complicated, and when I first saw her name, I was like, Urine. But I watched Sarah J. Maas, and she was talking about that book, and she said her name. So actually, it's Irene. I know. Weird, right? But I kind of like it. It's really pretty. We learned a little bit about Irene. Irene, her mother was a magical healer. Since the king outlawed all magic, they killed all these magical folk, and her mom was burned at the stake, and Irene saw it and she ran away. It's just like, that is so traumatizing for like a young girl to see her mother get burned. Like, oh my gosh. Irene's always wanted to be a healer just like her mother. This Irene, this character, is in Tower of Dawn. So I was like, man, I really gotta be paying attention because this is one of the main characters in the next books. So Irene is working at this really junky, old, really disgusting place. She wants to go to a healing school, but she can't because she ran out of money, and she's just kind of comfortable where she's at, but like not comfortable because she doesn't like working there. She sees Selena, you know, she thinks she's mysterious, she thinks she's looking for a fight, but she kind of stays away from Selena. But then her and Selena meet because Irene almost gets jumped by all these guys, and Selena is, yeah, you know, obviously Selena's always itching for a fight. So she steps in and just whoops all their butts. And she teaches Irene how to fight. I just love this so much. It was so great. Selena was like, you need to teach every other girl that you can find how to do all these moves. And I wonder if Tower of Dawn, if we see if she has taught other girls the moves that Selena has taught her. One scene I thought was really funny was when, after they had trained a little bit, Selena had taught her some of her moves. The men come back with like more friends. They obviously haven't learned their lesson. And Selena's like, go. And so Irene goes, but then she comes back trying to save the day, and one of the men gets a hold of her, and Selena's not gonna do anything about it. She hears how he's threatening to like get her, but she just keeps looking at Irene like,
what are you gonna do?
Irene finally steps it up and uses some of those moves, and then Irene's like, were you just gonna let them kill me? And Selena, the sarcastic girl that she is, just goes, what would have been the point in saving you then? I love how he ended it because Selena leaves her the brooch, I don't know, and some money so she can go to school, and she says the world needs more healers. Obviously they part ways, but I am so excited because I want them to meet in the next books. You guys know what I'm talking about. I know. I want to see them meet in the next books and just be like, oh my, hey, it's you. And so Irene leaves to pursue her dream of becoming a healer. Next we got the assassin and the desert. This one has to be my favorite of the entire book. Like, this one is my favorite. This is before crap got real, and it was fun, it was entertaining. I love this one. First off, Robin beats the crap out of Selena right in front of Sam, and Sam keeps telling him like, I'm gonna kill you, I'm gonna kill you. Oh my gosh, he beat the crap out of Selena. That's just, I'm so glad we got away from him. And so for her punishment for losing him tons of money, which is just ridiculous because it's like, you were going to invest in slaves. You not such a great guy. He sends Selena off to train in the desert with these mute assassins. They're not really mute, but they don't talk a lot. Robin says that if the master doesn't give her the sign of approval, like a letter of approval by the end of the month, then he's done with her. Which, okay, be done with her, okay? She deserves a better life. She doesn't need you in her life. But maybe that also means he might kill her. They have such a great relationship. We meet this one character. Her name is Ansel, and she is Selena's roommate, and I, right off the bat, did not trust this girl. She was just way too positive about everything. Some of the stuff she said really had a lot of red flags. It was alarm bells were going off in my head. Do not trust this girl. Selena and her formed a friendship, but I don't, like, their friendship wasn't, to me it wasn't like a real friendship, because to me Ansel was just really annoying and she was always trying to get into trouble. But I think that Selena always gets into trouble, so I guess that's why they clicked so much. One thing that we learned about Ansel is that she has this armor, like she wears armor all the time, I don't know, to make her look cool. I just imagine this armor to look really big and bulky and just awkward on her, walking around like a penguin with this big armor. I don't know why I pictured it that way, but I did. One of the alarm bells that just really set me off was when we have this villain. His name is Barrick, and he is the villain of all these silent assassins. He wants to kill them. He wants to cut off the master's head to get in the good graces of the king. Ansel meets with him every so often, and when Selena like went with her, she was like, no, stay back, I'm gonna do this myself. And she was gone for a long time. She was late to meet Selena. Just alarm bells, alarm bells. Why isn't anybody else hearing them? Come on, Selena, come on. One of my favorite parts was when Selena wasn't getting trained by the master and she was getting kind of antsy about it. She's getting really nervous because she really needed that letter. She corners the master, and he's such a sweet guy. I don't understand why he's so sweet. Like, he is a master of the assassins. It doesn't make any sense for him to be a jolly old man, but he's not really an old man. But you know what I mean. She corners him. She doesn't know how to talk to him because he's mute. He doesn't talk. So she's just like gesturing to him like, you know, like, we need to train. And I just imagined it looking so not good because she just didn't know how to talk to him. I thought that was so funny. Just imagine her just coming up to this guy and just being like, we need to train. You need to train me. One thing was that the master's son, I don't know how to say his name, I'm not even gonna try. His son had eyes on Selena. He thought she was cute. That was a cute part, but of course, you know, we have to stay true to Sam, but come on. I thought he was kind of mysterious, and I like that in characters. Ansel tells Selena this really creepy, really disturbing story about the time her sister, and her sister's friend go up to this mountain, see this witch and her little sister, and then run off. Her little sister's friend is still in there, and when they go tell their dad come back up, and all they find is little girl bones, which is just so disturbing. So like, did the witch eat her? But then that story wasn't true, right? Because then Ansel tells her about the true thing that happened to her parents. Lord Locke came to her house because he had a dispute with her dad. Her dad wasn't going to listen to this Lord guy. She hid in like a cupboard, and she watched her dad and her sister, like, their throats, they got killed. It's just so disturbing, and I was so sad for her, but I was still so suspicious. Like, you got an agenda? Like, I don't know what it is. I thought the Midsummer Eve festival was it just sounded awkward because they're just dancing in silence. Okay, so like I was saying, one of the weird parts that Ansel would just, you know, the alarm bells, red flags, would just, when she would say stuff like this. So after the dance, her and her boyfriend Mikhail were, I don't know, they came back and he was getting congratulated by people, blah blah blah. So Selena goes, even though they tease you, you still want to be with Mikhail? And Ansel goes, he's an amazing warrior. He's taught me far more than I would have learned without him. So they can tease me all they want, but at the end of the day, he's still the one giving me extra attention when we train. What? Wait, what? Like, isn't he your boyfriend? Don't you love him? Haven't you been with him since you were like 15? And then she's all jealous because Selena is getting trained with the master because Ansel has never been trained by the master. It didn't seem like their friendship was really that strong, and then at the end of the book when she actually does betray Selena, Selena is really deeply hurt by it, like they were best friends. So Ansel drugs her, says the master doesn't want to work with her anymore, but then Selena figured it out, come back to the silent assassins, and they're under attack. She meets Ansel up there where she's about to cut off the master's head. She's drugged him, she's killed Mikhail, so sorry dude, she wasn't a really good girlfriend. And her and Selena have this face off, and it's just so epic because I love it. I love it whenever I see my characters like face off together. So then Selena saves the day. We see how her and the silent assassins pretty much form a friendship. But the fighting scenes were just so epic. I get just so pumped whenever I'm reading that. I get like, you know, I start gasping and I'm just like, you know, when I'm reading it, and then of course people around me are looking at me like I'm crazy, and I'm like, you guys don't even know how good this book is, so don't even look at me like that. And then she talks with the master. He talks, like he literally talks, gives her words of wisdom, and I just love seeing that interaction. And he sends her back money so that she can free herself from her Robin. This one was my favorite. Now we move on to the assassin and the Underworld. Robin is such a manipulator. He gives her gifts, showers her with gifts, keeps telling her that he's sorry, that he's missed her. I'm just like, no. Can't even tell if he's really remorseful. This guy is so messed up because we know at the end of the book that he is the one who sent her off to be trapped and then sent off to Endovir, to that prison. Like, I don't know what his true feelings for Selena ever was. She wants to pay off her debt. She wants to get away from all of this. He's just like,
no, I'm sorry. I've been praying for forgiveness. Here is this mission. You should totally do it. You can have all the money.
So like a woman named Leifer, I don't know how to say her name. She wants her husband to be killed because her husband is setting up a slave, something with the slaves. And Robin obviously knows that Selena doesn't like the slave thing. And this is why this hurts even more. I felt like this was a trap the entire time. The entire time we were reading this book and she was trailing all these people. It was just so messed up that Robin did this because he knows how she feels about this, how she sacrificed so much with Rolf to get all those slaves to be free. And just the way that he manipulated her in this and made her do this, made her pretty much killed this guy who wasn't even involved in this. He was actually trying to help the slaves. Oh, it was just terrible to see her realize that she made a big mistake and she trusted the wrong people. We see Lysandra in this book and I just love Lysandra, but then at the same time, at this point in this book, we don't like Lysandra, so it's just like, we don't like her. One thing that was just really not cool was how we see how Lysandra, she has this bidding. So basically people are bidding to buy her virginity. That is so gross. And what's even more gross is that Robin buys it. He pretty much buys her. Yikes, gross. Selena and Sam's relationship grows a lot in this book. In order for Sam to even forgive Robin for what he did to Selena, he makes Robin do an oath that he will never touch Selena or harm her again. And that is just, oh my gosh. And just this perfect, beautiful soul. The pain. It's still there and it hurts. One of my favorite parts was when Selena, Sam, Robin, and Lysandra, they all went to this orchestra and Selena turns around and she's like, you look handsome. And he's like, you look beautiful. Like, oh, they're so cute. Like their little innocent little flirting was just so cute. I love that. Okay, that party scene. This is what I really want to talk about. Okay, the party scene where, you know, she was there for Donival or whatever the guy's name was, and she's just dancing. She's a little bit drunk, and these masked men come in, and it says they look like nobility. Please tell me. I know that this is Dorian. It's Dorian, right? Dorian. He walks up to her and he's like, can I call you mine tonight? Because she's like said she doesn't have a name, so he's like, can I call you mine? That is so Dorian. it's Dorian. I know it's Dorian. Don't even tell me it's not Dorian, because I feel like really strongly in my heart that is Dorian, and it's just everything. Of course, Sam gets really jealous, and he's just like, she's spoken for. Now we move on to the assassin and the Empire. This is when crap gets real. It was the last book. It all came crumbling down. Since I read the other books, I knew everything that was pretty much gonna happen. I knew Sam was gonna die. And so it was just hard knowing that and then watching it play out. So we start off, and the first page, Celaena has been arrested, and we all know that was the end goal. We all knew that was gonna happen. We start off because Celaena has paid off Sam's debt. They're living together in her apartment, and they're having money troubles because Robin has pretty much said, do not hire these people, and so they can't get any work. They had to pay Robin all this money in order for them to leave the guild. He wants to wipe her out of all her savings, all her money, and what does she do? She gives it all to him, and I understand why. Sam was really mad about it, but I understood why, because she wants to get away from this guy as soon as possible, so she didn't want to wait it out at all. But when Sam goes out, because he feels like he needs to like prove himself, he feels like he needs to like take care of Celaena, he finds this client, this client is just so sketchy because he doesn't even know his true identity, and the client tells him that he needs to go kill these two people that are like the highest of the highest crime lords. I just did not like this from the get-go, and I just did not like reading this. One thing that just stood out so much to me, and now I understand, was when Sam said that whenever he's afraid, he goes, my name is Sam Cortland and I will not be afraid. And we all know that's exactly what Celaena says throughout the book. She always says, my name's Celaena Sidorthian and I will not be afraid. The fact that we know, well, now I know what that origin, where she got that from, is just so special, because she's always thinking about Sam, and Sam has always had such a big part of her heart, and it's just so sad. Sam's death was so abrupt. He just didn't come home one night and you just knew he's gone. Like, he is gone. Celaena doesn't think it's real. She thinks he's still alive. She goes and she wants to see the body. She tells Robin, I want to see the body. Show me the body. We see the body, and we just know how he's been tortured by this Farron guy, how he just mutilated him, and it is just the worst, knowing how he had to have been in so much pain while this guy just tortured him to no end. That part just really broke my heart. And it doesn't get better either, because she wants to get revenge, and Robin sets her up. And Westland, that guy, he was trying to tell her, like, this is a trap, but she's young, she's immature, she doesn't listen. She knocks him out and continues going, and she gets captured, sent to Endovir. So Robin essentially killed Sam and sent Celaena to a prison camp that nobody like survives, just because he doesn't like sharing his belongings. So sick. But I love at the very end how we have this moment, and Celaena's just like, I'm going to this prison camp. There's nothing I can do. Nobody's gonna save me. But she's like, I am Celaena Sidorthian and I will not be afraid. So guys, that is the end of this review. I'm so happy that I read this book. It's so great seeing Celaena and just knowing more about her character and knowing more about Sam, because before I just read the books. I never knew anything about Sam. So now I understand, and it hurts. So now every single time I see his name, I'm gonna know all this stuff, and it's just gonna hurt. I love this book so much. I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. I hope you guys enjoyed this book so much. Make sure to go pick up all of the Throne of Glass books and all of the Court of Thorns and Roses series. Sarah J. Maas is a genius. Let me know down in the comments what you guys thought about this book. Are you excited for all the other books? Like, Kingdom of Ash is coming out in 2 weeks. Oh gosh. That is it for today. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!